Today, I will share with you an extremely practical experience in life. This is a tip to help you train your thinking, or in other words, it will make your thinking much sharper. This experience is not just theoretical. We can apply it directly to reality to help you make more accurate judgments. And through that, you will realize the benefits of having a sharp mind. If you truly pay attention and watch this video from beginning to end, I am sure you will be able to apply what I'm about to share immediately. And to ensure you won't be disappointed, I guarantee that after watching, you will clearly see a difference in how you perceive the world around you. Okay, now let's get back to today's main topic. One day, a friend of mine asked me this question. They were curious why I express myself, interact, and behave differently on various social media platforms. For example, on YouTube, I appear very serious and passionate. But on Facebook, I am more humorous and playful. Meanwhile, on Instagram, I am a completely quiet and romantic person. So, do these different versions all truly represent me the same person they know? What do you think? Do you believe they are all me, or do you think different people are using my social media platforms? This is a simple question, but don't underestimate it, because this very question will help you understand how to train your thinking. Now, I want you to think and answer this question for me. You have 5 seconds to respond. Okay, now I will start the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. And here's my answer to the question. Whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, all these different versions with different personalities are still me. I can be cheerful on one platform while also being dreamy and romantic on another. Therefore, everything you see, from seriousness to playfulness, is all a part of me. At this point, I know you might continue to wonder, why is there such a contradiction? How can I behave in such completely different ways at the same time? And the answer is, as a human being, I naturally have many different states, emotions, and behaviors. However, many people tend to equate my behavior with my true nature. And this misunderstanding, this mistake in judgment, will make it difficult for you to recognize and assess the true essence of a situation. If you judge me solely based on my behavior on social media, you will easily make incorrect assumptions. And I know this doesn't only happen to us. It's a cognitive bias that many people experience in their personal lives, at work, and even in their relationships. When you fall into this mistake, you won't just misjudge me, you may also make wrong assumptions about others. You may think that people's actions always reflect their true personality, that the way they act is exactly who they are. But the truth is, each of us has unique characteristics. Sometimes you meet a good person but misunderstand them as bad, and conversely, you might encounter a bad person but mistakenly think they are good. The reason behind these mistakes is the failure to distinguish between behavior and a person's true nature. A person's behavior is just one part of their overall character. Take a moment to reflect on yourself. Aren't there times when your mood and behavior fluctuate? But that doesn't mean you are unstable. It simply means you are expressing different emotions depending on the situation. Therefore, it is important never to equate behavior with our intrinsic nature. We are complex beings with various emotions and states, constantly evolving over time. If you fail to recognize this, you will easily become disillusioned when witnessing the many different facets of a person. So, through the above analysis, we have come to realize a fundamental truth. Many people make a cognitive mistake by conflating behavior with someone's true nature. Now, I will delve deeper into the underlying reasons why we tend to judge others in this way. You might be surprised by my explanation, but it actually stems from the influence of the media. The media can strongly shape how we perceive others. For instance, in the entertainment industry, when an artist is positioned with a specific image, the audience only sees the aspects of them that align with that portrayal. This image is crafted by the media to make it more accessible and understandable to the public. However, in reality, human beings cannot be confined to a single image or fixed set of behaviors. Remember what I said? Each of us has many different sides. And now, after understanding why so many of us make the mistake of equating behavior with a person's essence, we move on to the practical part, what we might call real-world application. That is, after grasping the theory, we will learn how to apply it in life to develop a more accurate and fair perspective on everything. Because sometimes we are quick to misjudge others based on a single action. In my view, this is truly unfortunate. With this video, we will understand that the most important principle is never to equate behavior with a person's true nature. And once we internalize this principle, it will help us perceive things more accurately in 2 key aspects of life. First, in how we view others, and second, in how we view ourselves. First, let's discuss applying this principle to others. When we understand that a particular behavior is just one part of someone's personality and does not define them entirely, we become more empathetic and compassionate. If we grasp this, we will become more forgiving, Realizing that people are just like us, they can make mistakes or have internal contradictions. For example, sometimes we encounter people who behave inconsistently. At times they are cheerful, other times melancholic. Sometimes they are open and friendly, while at other times they seem distant and cold. If we do not understand this principle, we might label them as inconsistent or even insincere. But in reality, no one is perfect, and everyone has their own internal contradictions. We should not expect those around us to embody idealized, flawless personalities and behaviors. We cannot expect someone to maintain a single emotion or attitude throughout their entire life. People change over time, and emotions or behaviors in a given moment merely reflect that specific point in time. Do not judge a person's entire life based on a single moment from their past. A loving word may be entirely sincere at one moment, and later, when that feeling fades, the person has the right to change. Understand that every word and action holds value only in the present. Do not use the past to judge the present, which is why I find the phrase, "say love, but don't say love forever," to be deeply meaningful. If you constantly judge others for their inconsistencies, people will no longer feel comfortable saying kind things to you. They will fear that if they naturally change one day, you will criticize them for it. If you can recognize that every action and word is just a small part of a person, you will learn to be more forgiving and understanding. Life will feel lighter, and you won't have to worry about contradictions or changes in others. Sometimes we should accept people's flaws with a calm and cheerful attitude because they are simply a part of life. Clearly, we cannot expect perfection from anyone. So, when interacting with others, if you can be compassionate and understand that everyone has both good and bad sides, you will find it easier to connect and maintain meaningful relationships. When you stop being overly strict about others' contradictions, you will become someone who is easy to be around. No longer intimidating or overly critical, a tolerant heart will bring you healthy and valuable relationships. Now let's discuss something even more important: how to apply these principles to yourself. When you realize that your behaviors do not define your entire being, you become more flexible, free from rigid constraints in life. And here I want to introduce a rather complex concept: being ready to not be yourself. I will explain it slowly so you can fully grasp it. Listen carefully because this is crucial. Being ready to not be yourself means not allowing your characteristics or behaviors to limit your life. For example, many people say, "I am an introvert," and they create a fixed image of themselves based on that label. With that image, they always prefer to be alone and avoid social interactions. But is that right or wrong? The truth is, how you behave when alone does not necessarily define who you truly are. You may be an introvert, but that does not mean you must live in solitude forever. Do not confine yourself to a rigid identity, as it will only harm your life. Life is diverse, and we cannot define ourselves by just one behavior. Another example, some people say, "I just want to be alone, and I can live like this forever." But if you insist on living that way, you may be missing out on incredible opportunities in life. Finally, let's take another example of clothing. There are people who only wear one particular style and insist that it defines their true self, but you can experiment with different styles without losing who you are. Don't be too rigid with yourself. Broaden your perspective, try new things, and you'll be surprised to discover that you enjoy much more than you ever imagined. You know, it's not that people inherently like only one thing. It's often just that we are too stubborn to explore beyond our comfort zone. Now think of this image. We humans are like a lump of clay. A lump of clay can be molded into many different shapes. You can become a piece of gold, a cup, a tree, or even an animal. But the important thing is that you are not those shapes, you are the clay. And you can change your form as many times as you like without losing your essence. So why confine yourself to just one shape? Be the clay, flexible and open to trying new forms. Similarly, in life, don't force yourself into a fixed image. For example, if you are always serious, constantly strict with yourself, your life will become stressful and devoid of joy. No one wants to be around someone who is perpetually serious. If you always demand that you follow rigid rules, you won't find ease in your own life. When you realize that behavior is not the same as identity, you'll understand that everyone has conflicting aspects in their personality, and that's completely normal. You might be very serious in one situation, but cheerful and carefree in another. Don't confine yourself to a single image. So the key takeaway here is, don't equate behavior with a person's true nature. We are a collection of many qualities, and sometimes they contradict each other. Accept that as normal. Lastly, I want to leave you with this message. Live like a lump of clay, flexible and ready to change, but never losing your essence. Don't limit yourself with rigid identities. Keep an open mind, experiment, and explore different aspects of yourself. And that wraps up today's lesson. The rest is for you to reflect on. Trust me, when you deeply contemplate these ideas, you will discover new perspectives and benefits for your own life. Thank you so much for staying with me until the end of this video. I hope today's topic brings you valuable insights and satisfaction. Oh, and one more thing, don't hesitate to follow the channel and leave a comment below. For now, goodbye and see you in the next video.